Hey there, boys and girls. Today we're doing the Demon Matsuri. We need to evoke an Esper, 5 or more limit bursts, clear without an ally being KO'd. Kind of go over the comp that we're going to be taking. You can plug and play a lot of different units into these roles. We want a provoke tank with lots of hit points and defense. I geared my Tsukiko for passive provoke. He's just going to guard, and then he's going to start using his limit burst to get some mitigation. I use Tsukiko again in this video because he doesn't counter, and I don't want to bore you guys to death. We need a healer that can make sure that Tsukiko's topped off. We want to have some form of regeneration because the boss does like a dot effect, and we're going to use Linera for that. Like, we haven't used Linera in a really long time, so it's kind of cool to get her out. We need somebody to give us a fire resist buff and dispel the boss, and Yuna's going to be doing that job for us. And of course, we're taking Tsukiko as our damage unit. Let's kind of look at the gear briefly. I'm using a 70% buff with Yuna, so make sure that your gear kind of matches up with that. 26k hit points, same Tsukiko that I used in the last video, 1600 defense. Aiko just has her harp. Linera just has fire resist in her bow. Yuna has a little bit of spirit, just in case she has to do some healing or something like that. My Tsukiko's geared with a lot of magic. She's on Leviathan for some spirit killer. The friend unit we're taking is not quite as powerful, but they do have some fire resist. It's kind of good that we're using, a little bit weaker of a friend unit. That way you don't think that you got to have like 2 Omega well units to do this one. Certainly not. We do have to finagle our cooldowns a little bit to make sure that we have enough quad casts to end the fight with. But anyways, we'll get into that as we're doing. The boss cannot be broken at all. No breaks work. It's weak to water. Don't think too much about damaging the boss itself. Think more about killing the ads. Make sure you get that done every single round, and you'll be totally fine in this fight. So like I said, we need to kind of hold off on using Tsukiko's really good cooldown. I think Nine Tails is the big one, so we're going to use Exorcism. That's the one that gives her lots of killers, and we will do double water with this one. And with the friend, we're going to come down here and do the same thing. We'll do the Exorcism, and we'll do a water and a fire. You got to make sure you're sealing the boss with fire. You can actually do it without sealing fire and just straight DPS the boss, depending on how strong your Tsukikos are. It took me 16 turns the first time I did it because I had no idea how to do the fight. So I just went in kind of blind, and I was like, okay, I'm going to use Tsukiko as my damage. She's going to chain on the boss, and I killed it. And then I found out you had a sealing mechanic in play later on. We'll defend Tsukiko until he starts getting his limit burst, and like I said, we'll just get Aiko to do a couple double heals, and we'll get Linera to sing us a song, an elven song. I wonder if it's the same one she sung to Baran. And then let's see here, Yuna is going to give us a fire resist buff and a single target dispel. So early on in the fight, like I said, it's pretty tame. The boss is going to ramp up in damage as the fight goes on. Sealing it with fire spawns this little spirit boy right here. We got to kill that every single round, and that's going to we do it 5 times, and that's going to give us the special power up that's going to let us kill the boss pretty much. Do water times 3. I'm adding the cooldown in right here so we can maintain our quad. We'll do water times 2 with the second one, and then a fire. That way we seal the boss. We'll defend with Tsukiko. I think we'll just repeat with these two. Like I say, as long as you're popping off these ads every turn, you'll be totally fine on this. I found delaying that cooldown really kind of made the clear for me, because I wound up at the final turn and I didn't have quad cast, so I just had triple cast, and I left some of the ads, still alive, and then I wiped because of that. So I think delaying that should help us secure the kill 100% this time. So we'll do water times 2, 3, and then a fire. That's pretty much going to be what they're going to be doing every round. Go ahead and start our limit burst. We'll use a limit burst with Aiko, that's 2. Let's repeat with Yuna. The reason for the dispel is every time you hit him with fire, he does a buff. It's an all stat buff. Again, we're not worried about damage on the boss. We're worried about that damn attack and magic buff because we don't want our tank to die. One of the missions is no KOs, so we can't have that. Alrighty, we'll get just repeat pretty much with Tsukiko. We've got a couple limit bursts. That's 4. Start singing our songs. Repeat the dispel and the fire resist buff. The fire resist buff is going to come into play in this fight at near the end. The ads start doing a fire AoE. Hot Stone's probably the highest damage move other than the dot that the boss does. He did like 2 right there. Sigart took a whole lot of damage. The trigger mechanic to get the boss to give you the ability that does a lot of damage to him isn't hitting him with fire, it's killing the little spirit thing, so kind of keep that in mind. Aiko's limit burst didn't fill, so we'll defend with Sigart, and we'll just come down here and double cast the heal. And then, you know, just repeat her dispel and fire resist buff. I think we've killed it 5 times. We should see up at the top. No, it'd be next turn. Turn 5. Gotta kill it one more time. There's the hot stone. I want to have the damn thing that's dropping hot stones on people. We've got our exorcism buff back up. Well, we should be fine. I'm not going to pop it right now. We'll have a dead turn here in a minute. We'll repop it then. Got some limit bursts. Definitely got all those out of the way. Repeat the dispel. As you can see, the dot's ticking a little bit harder on the Sigart. The seal is broken, is the emote that you're looking for. I like to do this with my tank. You know, he's got mitigation up. The boss is going to counterattack you whenever you use this this ability. Right here, you'll see it come up next turn. We'll just reload with our Tsukikos, chain them off. Use our limit burst with Aiko to heal up. Sing an elven song and repeat our dispel. Should hit with ventilation. Hit for 5k. It hits a lot harder if you don't have mitigation up, so make sure that you've got some form of mitigation up on that turn. This is, like I said, this is kind of a dead turn for us right here, so we're going to come down here and pick up this killer effect again. We'll do some water. Same thing with this, if we'll pick up the fire. Water, water, fire. That's not fire, that's fire. Guess we'll use Sigart's limit burst. Aiko's probably going to have to dual cast heals because she probably won't fill up. Just make sure your tank's topped off every single round. That's really, really important. Charlotte's a good substitute. Passive provoke. She's got the mitigation on her limit burst. It's actually better than Sighart's. I don't think her defensive stat can hit quite as high, but yeah, maybe the mitigation makes up for it. This is when the fire comes into play. This is why we need the fire resist. The ads start doing this fire attack. And like I said, if you don't one-shot these ads, they're gonna hurt your feelings. Like they're gonna do a lot of fire damage. Probably end up wiping you. If you can't get Tsukiko's powerful enough to do that, Senzar did a really awesome video using Cersei. He used a magic tank to kind of navigate around that. It's a really good video. So like I said, if you can't get these ads killed and this video isn't helping you out, go check his Cersei clear, because it definitely covers what to do in that effect. Do some water and a fire, because I know like a lot of people don't have this mage. Wasn't a very popular banner. I thought she was cool. I got one off tickets and I UOC'd the other one. We got plenty of limit burst in, so we'll just defend with Sieghart. Heal up with Aiko. Spell. So many ads. There's the hot stone. You could use items as well, so if your MP starts running out on this, like you can use the elixirs and stuff like that. I know some of these characters drink the mana. Let's go ahead and use another limit burst. Use a limit burst here. Get back into that song singing. We'll dispel the boss. A few more turns and we should have it. Let's check our cooldowns. Yeah, good. Alrighty. Chain these off. We'll defend with Sieghart. We used the limit burst last round. You know, just kind of alternate that. Make sure you don't forget to summon an Esper during all this nonsense. I do that sometimes myself. Heal up with this. Spell the boss. Oof. Such he hit me so hard with that hot stone. Come on, bro. Chill out. Alrighty, we'll send our Sukos off again. I think his limit burst lasts a few turns. Yeah, we better do it. I want to have it for when we take that ventilation. Really hurts. Summon an Esper right here too. Get out of the way. Lakshmi heals us up. It's a good 2 for 1. I think he should be broken this round. Unless I'm wrong. Burning blue. Seal is broken. I love all the ads on the screen. That's so funny. Alright. Because we delayed our cooldown 1 turn, I really recommend you guys do that. We've got our quad ready for this round. We don't actually need to use fire on the second one. It seems like these ads get a little bit stronger the further the fight goes, so we'll make sure we got quad water here. Want to make sure that we use the Sealing Talisman. That's going to eventually get us the kill. As long as we kill all these ads, that's really the important part. Like I said, make sure you delay that cooldown so you've got your quad ready here, because I've done this a couple of times with Tsuko, and depending on, you know, how strong the friend is, how strong my Tsuko is, like I didn't kill these ads, and if that happens, it's bad news bears. So we got all them out of the way. We're using our limit burst to heal up. Remember, we're going to take that ventilation hit. Sing us another song. Repeat the dispel with Yuna. Dead boss. That's pretty fun. So like I said, make sure your tank's got lots of hit points in spirit. Make sure you got lots of hit points in defense. Make sure you got a way to heal him up. Make sure you get some regeneration, because that dot's kind of nasty. Make sure you have a way to dispel the boss every turn and get a fire resist buff up, unless all of your guys have 100% fire resist. Tsuko's really good for the fight. Like I said, make sure you delay that cooldown off just a little bit. That way you've got that quad on that final round. I have died right there, so I'm just trying to warn people. The friend Tsuko we took wasn't, you know, extremely high end geared, so you know, if you can find a really powerful Tsuko and maybe yours isn't the best, like, it's certainly doable with that. Thank you, Zodiac, for having that unit set with some fire resist. It was very helpful. Also thank you, Shaz. Shaz set one that I had to fail with. That's how I know that if you don't delay that cooldown, you will die. Hope you guys liked the video. I did an Elena clear as well. If you don't have Tsuko, go check that out. If you're not able to one-shot the ads reliably and consistently, check out Senzar's video where he used Cersei with a magic tank. That will definitely get you where you need to be. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week. Toodaloo.